How typical. I start having a bit of a coughing fit as soon as I go live earlier today. Oh my, I've had a really quite a severe cough and cold over the last week. And then yesterday, get this, so yesterday I was just starting to feel like a little bit better, I suppose, but recognised I still needed to, you know, get some rest and heal and recharge my batteries. And I said to James, let's have a really nice chilled day today. I'm really looking forward to just giving myself lots of self-care, PJs, good food, and really looking forward to my day. Proper like chilled Sunday. And I was like, I'll just whip like the hoover around and stuff first. As I was doing that, starting to feel a little bit better than when I woke up. And he comes and follows me and goes, oh, you need to start taking these tablets today. And I was like, yeah, just put them on the side, put some water down. What are they again? And he goes, oh, they're your malaria tablets. Hey, Andrea. So yeah, as you're getting logged in, people, let me know you're here by giving me a hey or a hashtag live. And if you're watching on replay, let me know you're here as well on replay, because I always go through and read all your comments. So I was feeling great, hands me this tablet. What is it? Malaria. It's your malaria tablets, because we go away on Thursday to Vietnam and Cambodia. And it's a river cruise down the Mekong. So I have to take malaria tablets. I was like, yeah, drop them on the side, take them in a second. So, hey Rachel. So make sure you take those tablets. I know, Andrea, I know. So I took this tablet, carried on hoovering, looking forward to my day. Then about, not long, maybe 20 minutes, I start to feel all like woozy. And I'd kind of forgot that I took this tablet, if I'm honest, because I just took it quick, didn't think much of it, and carried on cleaning around. I thought, bloody hell, I've just gone really lightheaded and, oh God, I feel sick. And then, you know, like your mouth starts filling up with water and you're like, I'm going to be sick, I'm going to be sick. You try and start talking yourself out of it. Horrendous. I was sick pretty much all day yesterday. So, the malaria tablets aren't agreeing with me by the looks of it. I've got to try again tonight, but I'm going to do it tonight before I get to bed. So then, like, if I'm sick, I can just sleep it off and it's not going to affect, listen, spoken like a true entrepreneur, it's not going to affect the work I've got planned business-wise. But you're right, Andrea, I've got to get these malaria tablets down my neck. It's really, really important. So, yeah, so off to Vietnam and Cambodia on Thursday. Now, that means that this will be the last soul-centered Millionaire TV episode for a few weeks. I can't commit to going live and doing it just because I'm not sure where on the river I'm going to be. And with crazy time differences with Europe compared to Asia, it just might not be possible. So I wanted to talk about something today at the earlier time of 7 p.m. European time. I usually go live for these live series at 9 every week, same time every week, and I never change it. But I've changed it this week because I've got a group coaching session with my client group in the Wealth Accelerator this evening. But I still wanted to do this for you guys tonight because you had side effects when you took them, Andrea. Did you? Oh God, it's not just me then. I'm gonna have to take them though. I think it's better than malaria, right? So I wanted to come on and do this anyway because it's just such an important topic. Letting go of negative situations, letting go of struggles, problems that we're having that derail us in business, and how to do that effectively, because nobody's exempt from struggle. You know, just because we decide to commit to a passion business doesn't mean that all problems disappear from our lives and we never struggle again. Doesn't mean because we commit to self-development and we start working on ourselves, raising our vibration and becoming better version of ourselves, that we suddenly escape all problems. We just don't. It doesn't matter how aligned we are to universal law. It doesn't matter how tapped in we are to that truest potential, that life force. It doesn't matter how much action we're taking in line with our true potential. We're still going to experience struggle. In fact, hey Shanti, hey Sarah, who else can I see? Yeah, let me know who's on. I know I'm earlier, so there might not be many people on today. It could be a difficult time because it's much earlier and dinner and kids and all that. We can catch up on replay anyway, but do let me know who's here and who's listening. So these struggles, you know, when we actually choose to do something really quite extraordinary, when we choose to step into a version of ourselves that we've never been before and pursue a business that's in line with our passions and that stretches us and challenges us and changes us, we actually end up potentially, or 99.9% of the time, I don't think I've ever met anybody actually that tells me any different, that it was all just plain sailing from that point. When we decide to do that, we probably encounter more struggles than we've ever had before. And they come in all different forms to test us and challenge us and turn us into the person ultimately that we need to become to have the success that we're going after, that we've declared that we want. So it can be a really intensely challenging time. And what separates the men from the boys, isn't it funny that I only work with females and I still use like really sexist terms when it comes to separate the men from the boys, or should we say separate the women from the girls? What separates us, the successful people, from the people that success always eludes, is our ability to let go of those negative situations, people, problems, challenges that are coming up, and be able to thrive through them and not allow it to stop us. Really, that's our biggest challenge, isn't it? Because it's easy when it's easy, when it's good. You know, it's easy to feel creative, inspired, motivated. It's easy to achieve when there's nothing standing in our way. That's not really where, you know, outrageous success is built. It's built through struggle. But the number one thing that stops people from living their best life, achieving their highest potential, having the income, the financial abundance, the impact in the world that they want to create, it stops them because they allow the problems, the struggle to stop them. And I say we are all guilty of this at some point, but I genuinely believe the path to success is not about having less struggle. It's about developing the ability to deal with that struggle and making our recovery time less and less and less. So, you know, initially when you start out as an entrepreneur, some of the little problems that we might have can derail us in a big way, and they're only diddy, but they feel huge because as we're starting out, our confidence is our lowest, our self-belief is at the lowest, our competence maybe as a business owner is at its lowest, so our self-esteem as a business owner is at its lowest, our skill set, everything is at its lowest apart from fear. That's at its highest when we're starting out. So it stands to sense that the little problems can very often feel like really big problems in the beginning, and can be the things that we perceive as big challenge that we have to work through. Things like maybe a family member not supporting us or understanding why we do what we do. That can be something that actually, when we think about it, you know, in the grand scheme of problems, it's not huge, is it? You know, not really. It's a first world problem. Oh, you know, my husband doesn't get me, my mum doesn't get me, my family members all think I've lost the plot because I'm pursuing a business idea that's in line with who I really am and giving up my high-powered corporate job. Everyone thinks I've gone mad. The comments are hurtful. It could be that someone comments on a post on Facebook and says something hurtful about your business, or challenges you about your philosophy around business, or challenges you about why you do what you do. It could be, you know, something that is, when you think about it, you know, realistically, people are dying, you know, there's big problems and then there's that. But at the time, it can feel huge when we're just starting out. And then as we progress, those problems evolve and change. Like those little things that used to affect us, because we've kept pushing through and we've become stronger, because every time we get through a problem, we become stronger. We develop another layer of rhino skin. We become better for it. Those little problems that used to maybe derail us for a day, a week, a month, suddenly don't so much anymore. They don't even derail us. Hey, Joanne, they don't even derail us for a day. Hey, Crystal. because we don't see them as problems anymore, really. We just get that's part and parcel of, you know, sometimes we're going to be misunderstood. Not everyone's going to get us. Not everyone's coming with us. That's how it is. Those things don't even dent the armour anymore. But we move on. We graduate out of these problems into big girl problems. The bigger the business, the bigger the problem, the bigger the scale of the problem. I'm not trying to put you off building a big business. You will deal with everything that comes your way because you'll prepare for the bigger problems by getting over the little ones. But you've got to see it as that. One of the best ways this was ever described to me was by one of my neuro-linguistic programming mentors, my NLP mentors. And he said to me, it's a little bit like Harry Potter, if you've ever watched the Harry Potter films. Give me some hearts if you're a bit of a Harry Potter dork like I am. I love it. My favourite part of Florida a few weeks ago was going and visiting Harry Potter World and driving on the Hogwarts Express and visiting what they call it, the alley where you buy your wand, and I loved it, absolutely loved it. But if we refer to Harry Potter for the benefit of this, you know, when Harry Potter was just in film 1 and he was that little boy, that little geeky little boy that had no confidence, and he's, you know, got his little glasses, and, you know, he never in his wildest dreams would have imagined that he would be defeating such a big, challenging presence like Voldemort. And he couldn't have done that in film 1. He just couldn't have. He didn't have the skills, he didn't have the resilience, the power, the strength, and all of the things that he developed. But if you watch the films go on, he develops a little baddie, then a bigger baddie, then a bigger baddie, then a bigger baddie, until he becomes the greatest wizard and goes on to develop Voldemort. But he couldn't have done that on day 1. So strength is created through a series of new normals by taking one step. If you were to just imagine for a moment a long staircase with a door at the top, and through that door is the person that you want to become, the business you want to have, the ultimate goals, the ultimate dreams, the ultimate vision, the big incomes, you know. You're at the bottom of the staircase maybe right now, depending on how long you've been in business and how many challenges you've overcome. Every time you overcome a challenge, you step up on that staircase and you create a new normal. The new normal of being someone that can deal with that challenge, that knows how to get through it, that's been through it, that's got through it, and is still standing and ready for the next one. That's the nature of the beast. Success is built through overcoming challenge after challenge after challenge after challenge. What we can't do is stay stuck on the step, stamping our feet, shouting, why me? Why have I got to struggle so intensely? This isn't fair. It's your fault, and it's your fault, and it's that person's fault, and I have it harder than everybody else. So I'm just going to stand on this step, stamping my fucking feet, and I'm not going to get through the challenge. Maybe I'll quit. If you do that, then you ain't never getting to the top of the staircase and going to walk through that door and taste the taste of the success that you want. It's never going to be yours. It's always going to elude you. You'll be running up and down the staircase like a maniac. But if you learn to overcome challenges, thrive through them, and accept them as part and parcel of your journey, then you stand a freaking good fighting chance of stepping through that door. You will step through that door. It's fact. If we keep going, you'll keep overcoming the things you need to. You'll grow into the person you need to become. Fact. You only fail when you decide to run down the staircase and hide and say, I'm never going up there again. That's when we fail. So, I've got some tips for you. My 3 big ones, I would say, when it comes to struggle and challenge and letting go of it and being able to overcome it. Because it is hard. I'm sitting here saying all this to you, and it's true, but does it make it any easier in those moments where you really feel like the world's ending? Because in the beginning, everything feels like the world's ending. The first times for everything feels like the world's ending. And if I just think about all the things, and they don't have to be personal stuff. They can be things, they don't have to be business stuff. They can be personal stuff that's going on outside of business. Because if you're affected, your business is affected, right? So it doesn't matter so much if they're business related or personal problems. If you're affected, your business is affected. There's still challenges, hey Amina, that you've got to get through and keep climbing that staircase. So if I look at like the snapshot of the moments where I felt like my freaking world is ending, there have been so many, and it's always the firsts. Like the first time someone close to me didn't really get it and wasn't necessarily meaning to be rude about my chosen career path as an entrepreneur, but really devalued and misunderstood and almost pitied me for giving up my corporate career. That was one of the first times I experienced that. You know, I was a naive entrepreneur in the beginning. I was like, oh my God, you know, I'm just going to be successful and everyone's going to be happy for me and everyone's going to think it's wonderful and everyone's going to support me and everyone's going to be excited as I am. Why wouldn't they be? I'd be excited for them. And then you get that realisation that, hold on a minute, the vast majority aren't excited to see me win. The vast majority aren't excited about my goals. The vast majority don't get it because they're not the same kind of, they don't have the same goals or ambitions as me, you know. They don't understand it. They think I'm crazy. Like, that first realisation was awful, awful. And then the first time financial crisis hit as an entrepreneur and I started to seriously think maybe I can't make enough money to feed myself. So the first time, you know, I didn't hit my goal in a month and get paid enough to pay my bills, that felt like the fucking world was ending. Suddenly it's like, shit, I need to turn around on the staircase, run back down and get a job and forget it. Not that there's anything wrong with getting a job while you're working on your business, by the way, because sometimes it's necessary, but never to the detriment of your business. The first time I experienced hate online. Funny, the hate grew as my business grew. The more success I had, the more my bank balance grew, the larger pool of haters that were there, waiting to tear me down or waiting for me to make a mistake. Or the first time I experienced a hater, though, there was a whole group set up about me. And the first time graduated from one hater to a hate group, I was like, holy shit. And every time I come on the phone to my nearest and dearest going, what the fuck is happening? And it's horrible, and because it's a first. And then you kind of open your eyes and you listen to people that are playing in the same arena as you at the same level, and you hear that, you know, it might be in masterminds that I'm part of, or just friends that I've got that go, yeah, that's happened to me too. Or yeah, that's just one of those things. That's another occupational hazard that you've got to watch out for. Or, you know, there's so much stuff that you'll go through as an entrepreneur, and every time it'll feel like the first time. But what about the first time you experience a major personal curveball? It could be a trauma, a tragedy in the family. It could be, hey Amanda, I'm early Amanda, that might be why as well. So I have probably confused everyone tonight because I've had to do it early because we've got a client group coaching session later on. Oh, Catherine, I'm so sorry to hear that, honey. So sorry. Yeah, so see, personal problems, sometimes major, like what I would class, Catherine, as a major plot twist, huge curveball that will, you know, that knock you for six sometimes, like the breakup of a relationship or death as well. You know, that's come up for me throughout my time as an entrepreneur. I've lost people that I love. People that I love have got sick. Like, some, you know, stuff can happen that is totally unforeseen. But how do we develop enough grit and resilience to never self-sacrifice in these moments? Because to give up would be to self-sacrifice, wouldn't it? It would be to sacrifice who we are at our core, our potential. It would be to sacrifice our dreams, the life that we could live. It would be to sacrifice everything, the people that we could impact with our work. It's too great to allow anything to stop us. So how do we get through it? 3 things. There's a lot that I could share with you on this topic because I honestly believe it's the biggest topic. It just is. It's the number one thing that stops people from succeeding. But I can only share a limited amount with you on these sessions, so I'm going to be sharing 3 with you now. The first thing is, don't make big decisions. Don't make big decisions when you're in the most intense phase of struggle, when you're hurting, or when you're angry, and when you feel, you know, when it's fresh, whether it be personal circumstances or whether it be business related, you know, something's happened, it's thrown you a curveball, it's made you feel shit. Those feelings could be anger, they could be desperation, it doesn't matter what it is, the low vibration feelings kick in. Now is not the time to make decisions. It's really, really easy actually to make the wrong decisions in these moments, because you don't really know your own head when you're not feeling high vibration, because you're not operating from the best part of yourself. You're not operating from your highest self. You're operating from a place of fear, anger, and low vibration. So it's never a good time to make any big decisions, really. I'd say limit decision making completely if you can. Obviously, bar the mindless decisions that we have to make, like what will I put on today, what will I eat today. But business decisions, you know, I've seen so many people make big decisions in times of struggle that they've really bitterly regretted further down the line when they look back. Hindsight's wonderful. Actually, I say hindsight's wonderful, is it? Or is it just really fucking sarcastic? Because I know when I think about some of the things I've done and I look back with the benefit of experience and hindsight, and I think, oh, and I cringe. And do you know what? It's part of your journey, it is. But I think we can limit those moments. Noisy bird, I don't know if you heard that. I think we can limit those moments when we just refuse to make big decisions when we're in struggle. Recognise I'm not the best version of me right now. I'm emotional. Now's not the time. Now's not the time to decide to quit a business. Now's not the time to decide to fall out with someone. Now's not the time to, you know, just allow yourself to feel. You know, this is the time really to focus on getting your vibration back up so that you are in a great place to think clearly, make the best decisions for you and your business. That should be our only focus when we're feeling in any way negative. Let's just get to feeling great again. Let's just work on my vibration. Let's work on doing the things that light me up. You know what those are. There's no wrong way to it. You know, for me, it's about surrounding myself with the things that nourish my soul, like long walks in nature, being outside. I love the summer. It's why I live in a country, or part of a country, that's pretty much blue skies all year, pretty much. I love this time of year now because it means I can work outside more. The flowers are in bloom. I'll go for long walks, you know, just sit out in nature. It sounds silly, but take your shoes off, get your feet on the actual grass or floor, you know, go to the beach, listen to the sea. It's those sort of things that nourish my soul. Being around the people and things that I love, like being around my husband, being around my family, long talks on the phone with my sister, where I'm allowed to just be ridiculously human. I'm allowed to swear and shout and call people names and stamp my feet at the injustice of the world. I'm allowed to do all of those things and not feel like I should be acting a certain way, not feel like, you know, there's a lot of shoulds, isn't there? There's a lot of pressure we put on ourselves to be a certain way, act a certain way, deal with things in a certain way. Just allow yourself at first to be really, really human. I allow myself to eat the junk food. You know, I personally believe that no food's bad for us. It's how we feel about food that's bad for us. I believe that we give our body what we need to feel good at that moment. We know when we need more vegetables. Our body will let us know. And sometimes in these moments, I'll go to food that is like just nostalgia. It brings up nostalgic feelings for me. Like my mum used to cook for me when I was poorly, or, you know, just give yourself what you need. I like candles, really nice smelling. Rituals is my favourite brand. Rituals candles. Take long baths, or get in the hot tub with a glass of wine. That's one of my favourite things to do. So just allowing yourself to feel, not suppressing the emotions, not thinking I should feel positive, I shouldn't be letting this get to me. Letting go of all the shoulds and just allowing myself. Allow yourself to be hurt. Allow yourself to be angry. Allow yourself to eat what you want. Allow yourself for long walks. Allow yourself to be with the people that you love and doing the things that you enjoy. The things that you know uniquely to you will make you feel good. And when you start to feel stronger and happier and more positive, and you feel like you're returning to who you really are at your core, then you're in a stronger position to start making decisions. But while you're going through anything that's difficult for you, reduce your workload as well. Don't increase it. fastest route to burnout is challenge and a big workload. You know, going through a difficult time and having your biggest workload ever. I don't mind sharing with you because I commit on this live series to just giving you the real raw truth and not sugarcoating anything, and not only sharing with you the highlights. But I've had an amazing first quarter, don't get me wrong. There's been so many achievements, like, you know, consistent 100k months, which puts us on track for our goal of 1.5 million this year, which is so exciting. Buying our home, our dream home, mortgage free, and, you know, so much, so many wins with the clients I'm working with, so many amazing people I'm working with. Did this incredible retreat, and the connection with the women was amazing. So much awesome stuff. But I've also been extremely busy, because buying a house in a foreign country isn't easy, like it is in buying one in your home country where everyone speaks your language. Planning and executing a retreat on that scale is a really big workload. Working with the clients that I have, and I love every second of it, but it's still hugely time tasking on me, and emotionally as well, because you're helping people through problems a lot, and helping people through their struggles, and holding them accountable for being great, which means you need to be the best version of yourself. So that can be tasking as a coach. I had some huge shifts in some of the relationships that I've got with friends, and that was difficult. Like a friendship nearly broke down. It didn't in the end, but it nearly did. So I was dealing with that. Ill health in some of my family, like major ill health. So going through these, unfortunately for me, in the midst of all this, I had to fly out to Miami and Florida, and Florida, same place, and drive to Orlando. But anyway, to appear on Fox TV. So there was that trip, and then a 6-week gap to do all of my workload and deal with all of these challenges, and in preparation for the trip we've got coming up to Vietnam this week. So my workload was condensed into a really small space, on top of personal challenge and some business challenges as well, because they're always there. So the mistake I made, I broke one of these rules, was that I didn't reduce my workload to allow myself to deal with some of the challenges that were going on outside. I increased my workload with increased amount of challenge and stress, and that always equals burnout. So I got to a point where, hence why I've got the cough, the cold, and because, you know, this stuff manifests physically in our bodies when we're not listening. And I always pride myself on being someone that listens to my body and knows how to get the best out of myself, if you like. But it still catches me out. And I'm someone that identifies with being a self-confessed workaholic, and I say that, I'm not even joking, like, it's true, I am. We've all got our things, you know. Some people are foodaholics, some people alcoholics and drink too much, some people abuse drugs. I abuse myself through my work sometimes. I know that about me. And it's not about, you know, recognising it means that I know that I'm always in recovery, just like an alcoholic would be. You know, you can't go into a pub and have a couple of glasses if you're an alcoholic. You can't. Even if you've been clean or drink-free for a really long time, you know, you're aware that that's a problem for you, and I'm aware this is a problem for me. So slipping into burnout and going out of balance is really easy for me as a way of being. It's something that I have to constantly work on, stepping back, putting boundaries in place, not giving too much, not caring so much. You know, being a coach, I can lie awake at night worrying about my clients' businesses, like worrying about the challenges they're having. Like and the more clients you have, the more that going around your head at night. So if I've seen that someone's done a video in a group and they're struggling, or if I've had a session with someone and they're struggling, or you know, I'll take that on as mine, and I'll lie in bed worrying about them. Like, it's who I am. It's not something I'll ever get away from. So I'll find myself up at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning making notes about the best way to help people. Or so for me, when I'm faced with my own struggles on top of the people that I help and support, increasing my workload in that moment tips me over the edge of burnout. And then burnout can start to manifest in different ways, you know, feeling a bit flat. It can manifest physically, like it did for me with cold and cough symptoms. It can manifest in just feeling like you've lost belief in your ability to succeed, your confidence, you know, you can feel anxious, feel it in your chest, it can come out in many ways. So it's really important that you try and claw back everything that's unnecessary in these moments where we really need to give ourselves time and healing. What can we delegate? What can we put on hold? What can we delay? What can we, you know, ask for help when it doesn't have to be necessarily from my team? You know, it could be from family members. So one of the things that I always do when I start to feel like this is I start to look at the team I've got around me, who are amazing, the best people. I couldn't do what I do without my team, and there's a lot of them working away. You see me, you know, here on the screen, you see me delivering the trainings, but this is like a well-oiled machine behind the scenes with loads of people that are part of it to make it what it is. And sometimes I have to put my hand up and ask for help from them and say, guys, I'm drowning here, can you do this, this and this for me? And they're like, yes. You know, it's never because they don't want to, it's because I'm not good at giving things up for other people to do. But also family members, you know, who can you call on to say, maybe it's husband, like, can you cook the dinner for the next week? Can you clean the house this Saturday? Because maybe you always do your cleaning on a Saturday, like me. Like, I don't have a cleaner. It always shocks people because they're like, you don't have a cleaner? It's rule 101 in delegation that you delegate your house cleaning. But I have a cleaner, and the reason I don't is because it sounds woo-woo for some of you, but there's an energetic connection to my environment that when I clean it myself and keep it tidy myself, it helps me to stay connected to my environment in a way, like appreciate what goes into it, therefore keep it tight. I feel like I've lost a connection to my environment when someone else cleans it all for me. That may change when we get to the new house because it's much bigger, and I don't know if I'll be able to stick to that commitment. But so it might be that you're trying to do everything. It might be that you're trying to cook for everyone, you're trying to pick everyone up from school. Like, what can you just claw back and just for a short time while you're going through what you're going through, just ask for help. We are not good as women at asking for help. We just keep doing until we can't do anymore. So that's point 2, reduce your workload and ask for help as much as possible. And number 3, when you've done that, so when you've not made decisions, focused on building yourself up, reduced your workload and asked for help, point 3 then is, at this point now you should be starting to feel stronger. Now that time will get less and less for you throughout your career as an entrepreneur. At first you might need a whole week to just get your head around what's going on, depending on the size of the challenge, etc. But eventually your recovery time gets quicker because you get stronger and used to dealing with challenges, so you know how to get yourself out of it quicker. You know how to get yourself to that place where you can focus quicker. But when we're back there, it's then about refocusing, replanning and asking ourselves what needs to change. Because whenever we come, hey Claire, hey, oh, who's that above? Hey Lynette, sorry if I've missed you and you've been saying hi as you're getting logged in. So I'm talking, I don't always look at the comments. It's really important as we come out of challenge to recognise that we're different now. Because you're different through every challenge you come through. You've evolved, you've changed. You're no longer the person you were yesterday, always. It's true when we say, you know, we learn something new every day. If we're in action and we're striving and pushing and working towards our next level of success, we're evolving every day, and it might be so small that it's subtle and you don't see it. But when you come through quite a big significant challenge that's required you to go through these steps and step back, you are coming out of that different. You are. But you've got to make time to look at how. You know, who am I because this challenge occurred now? Like, what have I learned? How have I grown? How has it helped me going forward? What do I now need to do differently? What has the challenge helped me to understand about myself? You know, some of the biggest challenges I've faced in business, off the back of them has come my biggest moments of growth and success, because I've used them as a catalyst to go to the next level. So you know, it might be that you've faced this huge challenge in business and it's rocked you, but it's made you realise a few things about the way you were doing business, who you were doing business with, and then you now want to make some adjustments to that to go to the next level, because every challenge is for you. It doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. Everything you're going through right now, if you're in struggle, this is happening for you. When you're through the worst of it and you can think clearly, it's time to sit down and say, right, What do I now need to do because of it? What's changed? What plans need to change? What goals need to change? It's okay to change our plans. It's okay to change our goals. Some of the best leaders in the world are the most flexible people in the world. That's part of being a leader. It's being able to change and adapt and not be rigid. Just because we said we were going after this and we were going to do it in this way doesn't mean that that has to stay the same and we have to commit to it blindly. If something's come up that's made you reevaluate that, and the gift of that reevaluation has been given to you in form of a challenge, acknowledge it and change accordingly. Maybe it's made you realise you don't want to work with certain people. Maybe it's made you realise that you want to do business in a different way. Maybe there's so many things you can realise through challenge, but not when you're stuck in struggle. Because when we're stuck in struggle, we're emotional and we end up making emotional decisions, not strategic ones, not ones based on fact, not ones based on substance, but based on our negative emotions that are going on. And we should never make business decisions from that place. And that's why point 1 is don't make decisions, focus on your vibration. Step 2, reduce your workload, ask for help. And step 3, refocus, replan. And now I'm in a great state. Let's think about what I need to change. And they're just a few tips for you to help you through any struggles that you're going to come up as a business and as an entrepreneur. Just remember, that is your number one thing. Your number one goal, your number one focus should always be getting through the next challenge, because that's how any success is built. It's built on challenge. Your only job as an entrepreneur is to keep pushing through every single fucking challenge that you are faced with until you arrive at that place that you've dreamt of, where you can be, have and create everything that you want. That's your only job. Your only job is to not give up and keep asking, how can I be better? How can I be better? Not why is it not easier for me? Why is it so hard? This is so much harder for me than it is for anybody else. Not that shit. How can I be better, stronger next time? How can I be more resilient, a better leader, a better entrepreneur? How can I master these things that have created this struggle? That's your only job. Nothing else. Don't worry so much about the strategy. Yes, that stuff's important. You need to know it. But if you're prepared mentally to go through, over, under, round, any challenge that comes your way, the rest will just work itself out. Fact. I'd love you to share today's live video if you've got value from it, because there'll be other people out there in struggle right now that maybe need to hear this message. So share, comment shared when you've shared it so I know that you have, and feedback in the comments below. Let me know what you've got from this live. What will you do as a result of what I've said today when you encounter struggle, or maybe you're in struggle right now? Lots of love. Mwah.